Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on when you're gonna hear this recording. This is Hui from the Cash Flow Agent Show or the Cash Flow Addict. I forgot I rebranding it, where cash flow is a good addition. Anyway, I'm back from my vacation, and I do want to get some thought off my chest, if you will, and kind of put it into a recording because I has been quiet, as you see. I has been watching the world economy, and I'm not too sure what's going on. I really admire people, when they just like stand up and giving basically telling people what they should do with their money. They telling people the crystal ball on what's going to happen on the next few months or few days or in a few years. Trust me, right? If they know what is going to be happening, then they don't know nothing, right? This environment, is unprecedented. We never seen anything like this. We never seen anybody print money this fast and then raising the interest rate and try to get the money out of the system as fast as they can. So anyhow, I have been watching a lot of news sources, just taking in the information on both sides. And I do want to put together a short episode, just to kind of get my perspective out there on what is happening right now and what you should do, in order to protect, yourself and your family and your finance in the next coming year. But anyhow, enjoy the show, and I will see you on the next episode. Hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Depend on when you're gonna listen to this recording. So I thought I would share some of the note with you. I have been, watching the market and listen to the opinion on both sides. As you hear me saying repeatedly, a prudent investor always listen on both sides of the coin, and then we stand on the middle, we stand on the edge, we listen to both sides of the opinion, and we make a very informed decision, right? So these are just my note based on what I see so far, and I would thought that as your value, as you as the value client, value partner, you might have you might be interested to see things on my perspective, right? So of course I'm not an economist, but as you can see, we has been experiencing a period where the government, they just printing out money like there's no tomorrow. The money that they print out for the past 3 years, my God, it has been more than they ever printed in the entire United States history, right? And what is that equal to? It's equal to assets price increase, right? You see that stock market, before they start to raise the interest rate, the stock market, they hit record pricing, real estate prices increase, as an unprecedented level. Everything you touch basically become gold, right? If you buy stock, it go up. You look like a smart person, but it's not. It's just the market lifting you up. Same thing with real estate. Everything you touch, anything you buy within the last 2 or 3 years has become gold, right? Unfortunately, all of this happened, it's not by people it's becoming more productive. It just happened because of government printing more money, and of course the money, they need a place to go, and all of a sudden you have an environment where there is so much money flying around, and everybody is become super unproductive, right? You're talking about a guy during COVID just sit at home playing video game and expecting a check, I would say $1,000 or $2,000 per month in taxes just by playing video game at home and become unproductive. So a lot of money and no productivity, that is a very healthy uninflation, that as you can see, right? The assets price has gone sky high. Oil and gas price gone up, electricity go up, water go up, everything go up just because we have money and no productivity, right? There's a high cost of everything. The key issue here is no real productivity, right? And of course the average American, right, you and me, we're not going to be concerned by the cost of gas, right? But the average American, the one who still get stuck in the rat race, they still they could not afford that gas price in the tank. They cannot stomach the food increase, and that will lead to social unrest, right? And this this is the last thing the government want in the book is social unrest. And what are you gonna do when you see a social unrest, up and coming? You're gonna apply the only tool that you have in your toolbox, which is raising the interest rate and slowing down the economy, right? We can spend hours to debate, whenever raising the interest rate is help or has not helped with the inflation. But keep in mind that this is the only thing the government have. There's nothing else that they can do. Well, of course, they can invest in technology and innovative, by making people become more productive. But unfortunately, our current administration is not interested in that. The only thing that they want to do is to, solve it now, put a band-aid on it instead of solving the problem the right way. And they do that by raising interest rate. So by raising interest rate, you basically taking money out of the system, but at what cost, right? There's a cost of doing that, and again, whenever it really solved the problem or not, it's up for another debate. But if you can see right now, the housing market cooling down, the stock market, they enter the bear territory. Businesses, they slow down on the investment, right? Which even further hurt, our country productivity. And then on top of that, you have some X factors, just as our country, the USA, we embarrassingly pulling out of Afghanistan, right? The war in Ukraine. If you follow the news, you're gonna see that non-Western country, they taking the delivery of gold, according to the different news sources that I have, right? So why I'm telling you all this, right? If you put everything together, you're gonna see that the more and more evidence to show us that the United States, especially our US dollar, is losing value as a world reserve currency, right? We pull out of Afghanistan, we basically tell our allies that, hey, worst case, we're just gonna pull out and then we're gonna leave you hanging, just like what we did to the Afghanistan people. That's sending a very strong message to all the US ally. So yeah. And unfortunately, everything you do and I do, every dollar that we take in is, denominated under the US dollar, right? Our house is denominated under the US dollar. Our income, everything is denominated under the US dollar. So if you have, how do I say this? But yeah, that is a really big point, and I want to, reiterate that again. I don't see a lot of news sources that talk about this, but I just seeing more evidence that the US dollar, the very dollar that you and me we hold in our hand, is losing its value as a faster pace than everything else, right? So anyway, what you're gonna do or what you're gonna do is gonna be totally up to you. I'm not in the position to advise anybody what to do with their money, but at least for me personally, if I have any non-income productive real estate right now, I would be thinking about selling it, right, and really adding into my portfolio, as a recession proof, even more income producing real estate, right? Anything that produce income, that provided value for the people that will that paying rent, anything that producing income as an asset, I would add them to your portfolio as fast as you can. And anything that you buy and hope, that the value is going to go up, I would sell that, as soon as I can, right? Well, I mean, of course, unless you know how to find home for cheap and flip it, right? That's a different conversation. But yeah, maybe gold and silver, right? Nobody talk about gold and silver, but owning gold and silver will not make you rich. But if there's a scenario, I'm just basically putting this out there. If there's really a scenario, all this non-Western country, they get together and they was able to basically trade oil, not in US dollar, right? The US will then really lose its value as a global currency, reserve currency. You will see hyperinflation and you will see, our country falling apart. You're gonna be glad that you own some gold, right? So, but until then, maybe look at gold and silver. But until then, let's go out to the marketplace and produce, right? being productive has been and will be the only way to get us out of trouble. So, but yeah, I get that's it. That's all I want to say for today. And this is Cash Flow Asian. I am signing out.